Welcome back to Mad Britain, where the only thing that's more common than knife crime is the government pretending it doesn't happen. Yes, that's a stab in the chest right there. Because today let's talk about Uxbridge, a suburban pocket of West London. On October 27th, three people were stabbed in a broad daylight, including a 14-year-old boy. Yes, a 14-year-old boy. Hasn't even left high school yet. Because, of course, nothing says modern day Britain like a 14-year-old boy dodging blades on Monday evening. We can't beat that, can we? No, that's the best thing we can give our society. Of course, that's what our leaders seems to think like. Around 5 p.m. October 27th, police were called in Mid-Hurt Garden in Uxbridge. A 49-year-old man was stabbed to death. A 45-year-old man was also stabbed, suffered a life-changing injury. And of course, a 14-year-old boy stabbed. But thankfully, his injury were not life-threatening. A suspect, let's talk about a 22-year-old Afghani national. He was arrested at the scene, tased, charged with murder and attempt of murder.
It's a madness. Someone's been stabbed over here, someone's been stabbed here, babe. I can't take it.
But of course, let's not jump into conclusion, shall we? Let's not do that, because maybe this guy, maybe he was just expressing his cultural frustration through interpreting stabbing. Maybe. I know. Now, before you accuse me of being insensitive, let's talk about knife crime, shall we? Because that has skyrocketed. Because in 2023 alone, there were 12,000 knife-related offenses. That's more than the number of times I can get Sadiq Khan to say diversity is our strength. Trust me, he has said it a lot.
Succeed. We've got to show them that our diversity is a strength. We are stronger, but we are together.
But 12,000 knife-related offenses is not just a number; it's a symptom. It's a symptom of a society that has lost the plot. And speaking of diversity, the suspect's background was mentioned in past, the Afghani national. But don't worry, the media quickly pivoted into do not speculate mode, because of course acknowledging the pattern is apparently racist. Am I racist right now? I am sorry. Here's the truth. You have to take it.
Well, sources now confirming to us that the suspect, the 22-year-old man who is in custody on suspicion of murder and attempted murder following this triple stabbing here, is an Afghan national. We're waiting to get more confirmation from the Home Office on his status in terms of whether he is an asylum seeker, someone who was here on the Afghan relocation scheme, what the situation of his status in the country is at the moment. But we can confirm that he is an Afghan national. I've just been speaking a short time ago actually to another eyewitness here, Ben James, who lives locally, who was on the scene very quickly after this incident unfolded and saw the dying man, other people injured on the streets as the emergency services were trying to administer first aid to those individuals. And he said that he had been told that there is a house of multiple occupancy further up the street right by where that blue forensic tent is, and I'm going to step out of the way at the moment just to let you get your bearings. You can see where the blue forensic tent is. To the right of that, we're told there's an HMO, and according to our eyewitness Ben James, speaking to local residents that he knows here, the suspect apparently emerged from the HMO. There were reports of an altercation, a man stabbed, and then potentially the second victim being a dog walker.
The media have always always had a template. The usual finesse. Just a few headlines, a few tweets, then silence. Because of course, it is uncomfortable. Yes, I know. And of course, it doesn't fit the narrative. Because we are just supposed to pretend this is a part of urban life. No. No.
Babe, there's police everywhere. It's really bad, babe. Oh my God, the guy got stabbed 15 times, babe. It's a madness. Someone's been stabbed over here, someone's been stabbed here, babe. I can't take it.
But I really want to talk specifically about the young boy, the 14-year-old boy, a child, stabbed in a residential street. But don't worry, of course, as we see in the pattern, the local councillor will probably run a mural, hold a community poetry slam to heal the trauma. That's what we've seen on hundreds of 14, 10, 11, 13, 16-year-old kids who have been stabbed. And since it's just another day in multicultural Britain, apparently we're just gonna move on. Wake up the next day and it's just a normal day. This isn't just one incident. It's about culture that's in denial. It's about the refusal to confront the reality that a part of Britain is becoming unrecognizable. Yeah, we have to say it. Violence is just a normal routine. Yeah, it's just an everyday thing now. Now, where police are more concerned about you and I misgendering somebody online than stopping the actual violence taking the street. And the public is told to just keep calm and carry on. And of course, I believe you and I prefer to carry on without seeing nobody bleeding. Can we get that, please? Now, I'm an immigrant myself in this country. And of course, I'm not saying every immigrant is a criminal. No, I'm not saying that. Of course not. What? No. All I'm saying is if somebody commits a violent crime, their background matter, their history matter. And to pretend otherwise isn't progressive, is negligent. Because if you haven't noticed, stabbing, it's not really news anymore. It's just another, what day is it today? It's just another Tuesday. Thank you so much for watching. You've been silenced for very long, and every time you try to resist, they put you in jail. For my children. You've controlled your mind for so long to the point where you let them decide what your kids should learn, what gender they will be. And now you've let them to come for the whole nation, destroying what Britain once stood up for. They use this media machine not to report the facts to you, but to tell you what to think and what you should do.
Always be careful.
They're hiding the facts behind the noise, and they're recruiting pedophiles to tell you how to behave. And these politicians who meant to protect you, they're out there smashing your head on the ground. And no jail time for them. This road we've been on has been very dark for a very long time, and it's time to shine a light on the truth and advocate for justice. We the people make the nation, and if we don't stand up and advocate for justice, then we certainly won't make this nation great again. So we have to create a place for that, a place that can contribute to a more informed society. And that place is Next Frontier Media.